Welcome, welcome, welcome. Vlog number 17. Man, I haven't done one of these in forever. It's been like, well, since the drive back from NorCal after Thanksgiving and after getting engaged. This is my first vlog just because I figured I'd, continue my harping and my anger over this healthcare reform, which essentially is a takeover, a federal government takeover on the individual will. The individual will does not actually doesn't mean anything in America anymore. The majority of Americans, 56%, voted in a new poll just after they passed this bill that wants it repealed. Obama goes on TV, says, oh, they're going to run a platform, the Republicans are going to run a platform of repeal, and Americans, are not going to want to put the healthcare situation back in the hands of the insurance companies. Well, with this bill, it never left the hands of the insurance companies. Matter of fact, the insurance companies are going to be making a lot more money because the federal government is now mandating and going to enforce forced upon healthcare, which will create another 30 plus million clients to their roster. So yeah, Obama, you're selling it off as a victory for the people, and the people win, and it's the people's victory, but clearly it's not. The bottom line, what really pisses me off about this bill is that it's forcing us Americans in 2014 to have health insurance, and if we don't, we get fined. We get a penalty, and it's going to be enforced by the IRS, because the IRS is going to look at every American's financial situation, and they see that we don't have health insurance. They're going to level a penalty and a fine, and that if you don't pay the fine, you probably are going to go spend some time in jail. Because no one fucks with the IRS. Ask Edna Lane Brown. But that in itself, the fact that the federal government is mandating that every American has health insurance, is just the most unconstitutional bunch of crap I've ever heard. I mean, this is insane. And a lot of people, there are people I hear who say, well, you have to have car insurance if you're going to drive a car. It's the same difference. Well, no, it really isn't. You choose to drive a car. You don't choose to live. You're not choosing to breathe and to be, I choose to live. I don't take a gun and blow myself away because I want to live, and I have the free individual will to think for myself and to sit here like this and cross my arms and go like this and do the hokey fucking pokey. But you make a choice to drive a car, and when you get behind the wheel of a car, you have the you take on the responsibility and the liability of, basically, if you hit somebody with your car, you hit another car, you hit a person, you kill somebody, or you run into someone's house or someone's front yard and smash flower pots because you're drunk driving, you're responsible for that because you made the decision to get behind the wheel of a car, and unfortunately either you were intoxicated or maybe it was a freak accident, you hit somebody or you clipped a car or something. You pay into this car insurance because of the liability factor, because you might hit somebody, you might damage someone's property, and you pay car insurance, and it is law. They did pass law, but that's understandable. That's the responsibility you take when you get behind the wheel of a car. When you buy health insurance, you're affecting no one else but yourself. Your health insurance is not for the benefit of the person down the street. It's not for the benefit of your pastor. It's not the benefit of your boss. it's not the benefit. Well, it could be the benefit of your boss, depending on what kind of industry you're working in. You know, they want you around. They want you healthy. Obviously, if you're a warehouse person like myself, being in tip-top physical shape is kind of a good thing to have, to be in. But you don't affect. I mean, you're not endangering anybody else if you don't have health insurance. The only person you're endangering is yourself. And beyond that, it's expensive. Car insurance is expensive, but it's a responsibility that you have to take on if you're going to drive a car. Health insurance, it's expensive, and a lot of people just can't afford it. On top of every other bill, you know, car insurance, car registration, rent, mortgage, car payments, so on and so forth. The federal government, essentially, by passing this law and passing this bill, they're imposing their will upon the individual. And the federal government should not have a right to do that, because everybody is entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, as long as you're not endangering other people. When you endanger other people, you suffer the consequences by way of the laws that are made for man. If you're threatening somebody, you're gonna be, you're gonna pay a penalty. You're gonna go to jail. If you punch somebody and assault somebody, you're gonna go to jail. But to pass a law in which you have to pay a fine if you don't pay into something just for merely breathing, which is kind of like the whole carbon, tax for the whole Al Gore global warming thing. We're going to have to pay a tax on breathing and emissions of CO2. That's once again another tax on us that is going to be paid for merely living. That's not American, it's not constitutional, and it's not a part of, quote-unquote, the land of the free. Let alone, we can't afford this. Our nation's bankrupt. It's just going to take more money away from Medicare for the elderly people who are not bringing in income, who are only usually living off of retirement and Social Security, who can't afford. A lot of them can't afford health care. They have Medicare or Medicaid, which Medicare, I think. Yeah, I'm getting the two mixed up. Sorry, but it's going to take away funds from that. It's also going to benefit the insurance companies. So because they're adding more people by force of law and the IRS to buy into this. This is just bad. I can only hope that by 2012, hopefully we'll have a new president with hopefully the name of Ron Paul, or some other pro-freedom, pro-liberty, anti-war, pro-constitution, pro-fiscal, conservatism, just somebody who understands that we don't have an endless supply of money here, people, and we don't make anything to export, so something's got to give. I just ranted. I don't know how much time I have left. It's like 10 minutes usually that I can go on about this, but yeah, that's all I have to say about that now. And also, I can't stand Dennis Kucinich because the man just totally went back on his morals, said that this was a bailout for the insurance companies, that this bill was written by the insurance companies. Howard Dean said that